Looks like Arnc thinks he's at a disadvantage. Oh man, tons more Scourges coming in. I think Arnc is at a disadvantage there. Both players opting not to engage. It's almost impossible to tell who has more Mutalisks. I mean, you really don't know. I think it would have been good for Arnc to fight the battle back at his base, because maybe some of his buildings might have taken some of the bounce damage there. Or maybe his Overlord there by the Spire. But
yeah, but ZerO has to know
ZerO
that he's ahead, and if he just starts building up Mutalisks, I mean, yeah, even just like you said, Arnc wants to take the fight at his base, but he really doesn't have a choice. Arnc is going to just keep building Mutalisks, but ZerO is just going to be able to outproduce him at this point. Even though, just like you said, it doesn't look like ZerO has that many drones, he has way more than Arnc, at least 4 or 5 extra drones, which makes a huge difference, especially considering that you can produce extra Zerglings, and even if you don't have the full gas to produce full-on Mutalisks, you can still produce extra Zerglings with those drones, or actually make more drones to build up another hatchery. But, you know, whatever the case is, Arnc is just not looking good at this game, and that was really kind of strange that he went for that all-in Zergling attack. I mean, he saw the Sunken, which is totally unexpected, and it looks like ZerO might actually try and clean it up here, and he's going to get that Overlord. The Overlord goes down, so this is just terrible for Arnc. And that was the second Overlord. Now that I'm so wow, yeah, Arnc actually doing a good job of clearing out Zerglings, and I think this is what he just should have done. He should have just kept his Zergling advantage carrying into the mid game with the Mutalisks, and then started trying to pick him off there. But he lost all of his Zerglings in the early game when he had the lead anyway, and all those Scourges
so
running
many Scourges, man. I don't know how many of those landed. Oh, that one just landed. There's still a lot of Scourges left.
Arnc retreating.
Oh man, looks like
trying to micro against the Scourge. This is hopeless.
I think that's way too many Mutalisks. GG. Well played by ZerO, man. Although I think it was a really bad attack by Arnc, which kind of cost him the game. You know, I mean, if you were going to attack there, I don't understand why he brought them all down there, waited for ZerO to build more Zerglings, and then attack. Like, if you're going to bring them all down there, attack right away before he spawns more Zerglings and gets his defense set up better. That was really just kind of a big blunder. Apart from that, I think he did everything right, but that set him back too far. It's just drone count. And then ZerO made some really cute plays, made some really good drone pickoffs, sneaking in the Mutalisks, sneaking in some Zerglings, and getting some drones picked off. So, looks like we're going to go for a third game here. Yeah,
I mean, Arnc and Luxury, the way they play that early gas style, you can just tell that even though, of course, that Arnc is a pro gamer and he has plenty of experience with a lot of setups, he really wasn't fully prepared for what to do with a 12 hatchery build. And, you know, you play every game by feel, especially how many Zerglings they make. You know, you can't just have a rule and thumb, I do this, he does this. And he really kind of made a poor decision in massing up Zerglings. And it was a good move to make Zerglings because he was ahead in the economy, but he should have just kept that. He shouldn't have tried to attack with the Zerglings. That was really a forced aggression there. And that's something that I think the Arnc and Luxury is probably used to. I mean, I'm not going to try and go too deep in here, but when they go for that early gas build, they have the 2 hatcheries and they have to be aggressive with it, but they're allowed to. And it seems like Arnc almost tried to force aggression with those Zerglings when he really just needed to be passive with the 12 hatch. But just kind of a real look in here, and going into the third game, that's one thing you see a lot in best of threes, is players on the third game, a make or break game, is they usually go back to a build that they're really comfortable with. And I can't imagine Arnc doing another 12 hatchery, even though the map is Neo Harmony, which would be at least a decent map to go for a macro based game because it's a little bit spread out.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty spread out, so decent. We're probably going to see at least one of them going 12 hatch. It is more of a macro-oriented map, but I mean, how much macro can you really ever do in a ZVZ? Although, if it is a 12 hatch versus a 12 hatch, we might see a bit of a longer game, and we're definitely going to see more macro, more drones, and more Mutalisks. But, you know, it's probably going to come down to control, like it always does. Anyway, unless you have anything else to add, I think we've summed up that game pretty well, and we're going to move on to the other third game.
Zerg versus Zerg.
Pretty exciting.
Love it.
Yep, Zerg versus Zerg. Action-packed, intense games. Anyway, let's move on, guys. Peace out. Peace out.